Portsmouth is located in the heart of Scioto County. Situated on the banks of the Ohio River, it was a source of industrial production in the past. More recently, the county and city have become known for another reason. The highest rates of prescription drug overdoses in the state are in Scioto County. Marty Danini has been the sheriff of Scioto County for 14 years.
A lot of people have been affected by it. A lot.
And it's not just one group, it's everybody.
Yep. Yeah, there's no boundaries. It's really bogged us down in law enforcement. And there's just so much you can do.
Even if someone hasn't been personally affected by this problem, they most likely know someone who has. Leanne Furman says she's been fortunate enough to not experience the loss of a family member or friend from a prescription drug overdose, but she knows others who have not been so lucky.
I have seen some families, and it's a terrible situation for them. It happens to normal, everyday people who happen to just get hooked on pain medicines, not necessarily the heavy street drugs that you would typically consider the drug problem being focused on.
The effects of the prescription drug overdose epidemic have been felt throughout the county and state. For 6 years, Mark Kuhn has been working convicting criminals as the Scioto County prosecutor. He says addicts spend a considerable amount of time engaging in crimes that are linked to their dependence on pills.
By the time I see people through felony court, typically they're so hooked on the drugs they've been doing that a while. Now, certainly there's some of our crime that's not drug related, although we think a large percentage of it is drug driven.
For some in Scioto County, addiction starts even before they take their first breaths.
Last year, nearly 1 in 10 babies in Scioto County were born addicted to prescription pills. But the problem is all over the state as well. Last year in Ohio, accidental deaths from prescription pills, which you can get at this clinic behind me, nearly quadrupled. And in 2007, they surpassed car crashes as the leading cause of accidental deaths in the state.
Local and state law enforcement agencies have been trying to come up with tactics to fight the availability of prescription pills. The Columbus Dispatch published an article on May 9th stating that the legislation eliminating pill mills that dispense large amounts of these medications have skyrocketed to the top of state lawmakers' agendas. In Scioto County, pharmacies and doctors are working together to combat the problem.
Some of the success that we've had here lately in the last several years, is our local pharmacies won't fill these scripts. You know, and some of them have been tripping to Columbus to get them filled.
Even though this is a step toward fixing the problem, others believe national action is needed.
And unfortunately, until we change some of those laws and we get perhaps some infrastructure in place on a national level, we're going to be nibbling around the edges of this problem.
Officials believe the community plays a vital role in eliminating the pain of the prescription drug problem. On April 29th, the Lawrence-Scioto County Solid Waste Management District held a pharmaceutical collection event. Portsmouth residents were encouraged to bring their old, unused prescription drugs to the drop-off instead of flushing them, which actually releases the chemicals from the drugs into the water supply. On a smaller scale, just acknowledging the problem and discussing ways to combat it are powerful.
I think talking about it is a major step in the right direction. And we have a very big religious faith-based organizations in our county and this part of the world also.
Authorities say once the stigmas surrounding the problem have been put aside, solutions can start to make their marks in this county and throughout the state. Reporting for WOUB News, I'm Alyssa Hansen.